What's up, y'all? So I'm doing another analysis video on GJ, which is GBP JPY pair. And today's date is what? June 9th, Tuesday, 2020. Anywho, so I started with my daily chart. On my daily chart, my last lower high is here. My last lower low is here. So this signals me to at least be looking at this as it's in a downtrend. However, price is way over here and it did all of this right here, so I'm not too concerned about from here to here. However, price can go all the way up to here and could still be considered into a downtrend unless it breaks, retests, and follow through, creating a higher high. But anywho, what I do first is I go ahead and I mark out my what do I do? I'll go ahead and mark out my daily areas. So I don't know why this is here. This must be old. Okay, let me delete this. Actually, my daily area that I was looking for to match where current price action is, where current price is I drew my daily area here. And I make mine yellow. So price can potentially, when it was up here and it eventually went bearish, price can eventually hit this area, this broken area of resistance, and could be turned into support to make it bounce up. However, I can't really see too much of what's going on up in here, so I will go down to a smaller time frame, which is the 4 hour. On a 4 hour, I was looking for like the trend pretty much, as far as it making highs and higher lows, or structure pretty much, if you want to say that. So this is a higher low right here. 4 hour made this higher high right here. Price came down, created a higher low that created this higher high. So that's why I have the 4 hour HH right here, which is 4 hour higher high. However, price had broke this support area here, came down, retest, and came down here again, which made my market flow bearish. However, this was the last 4 hour higher low, so price didn't break that, retest, and go bearish. So that tells me that this is still bullish. I should still be looking for buys once price came down to this 4 hour area right here. So basically what I did was I put my 4 hour demand zone here. I zoomed in to make sure it matches up with my 1 hour as far as the wicks goes, and it did. So during, what session was this? Was this London session? Yeah, during London session, I believe this was London session. Anywho, when price came down in here, I was looking at my 1 minute chart. So as soon as it hit this little blue line here, well, actually I wasn't up at 4 o'clock. I was up around 5:30 and 6 o'clock, so up in this area here. So I looked down at my 1 minute chart. I zoomed in, and then all I did was look for a quasi kind of sort of, in which I did see one. I seen price came down here, went up, went below this 1 minute support area, went up. It didn't go beneath this and create this bullish engulfing pattern here, so that would have been a signal here, but that's clearly 5:15. I didn't really start charting until I believe like around 6 something. So I seen this. So at 5:59, actually 6 a.m. This is where I seen a bullish engulfing pattern at. I seen it matched up with this floor or this support area right here, and price didn't close beneath these wicks right here to the downside, and it created this bullish engulfing pattern. So I took this as an entry. I took it up until, since this is a GBP pair, excuse me, I usually look for 25 pips, in which I definitely got that. You can take the ruler tool, you can put it from the start of that entry and go up 25 pips, which was like right here. So around what, 6:54 ish or whatever. I was up around like 25 pips. So from like 6 o'clock to almost 7, so in an hour I was up 25 pips. And what I did, once I did that, I took part of my position off. So I took profit at 25 pips, and then what did I keep on? I think I kept on like 25% of the trade. And then instead of usually what I do is I roll my stops like 3 pips beneath my entry. Instead, I just did like a trailing stop, which you can do on MetaTrader 4, MT4. And then I did it was a trailing stop of 10 pips pretty much, or 100 points on there. If you have to pretty much set it, you have to set it as 100 points. So anywho, I was eventually stopped out. I can't remember exactly where, but I think somewhere up in here when price started to fall back down. However, it didn't really matter to me because I met my goal. My goal was to only make 25 pips, and whatever else was a bonus. And then even when I was stopped out, I was still stopped out in profit. So I think that 25% of that trade was at least like over 30 something pips. So you could do the 30 something pips plus the 25 pips. So you're looking at easily around 50 pips for one trade. So, and that was all within like a couple hours, and pretty much was done for the day on this pair. Yeah, so that's what I did on that. And then I took another trade. I took Aussie JPY. Let me look at that one. Yep, right here. So pretty much it was the same kind of deal. So let me go to my 4 hour. Close that. So 4 hour, this yellow box area was a broken area of support. Broken area of resistance, possibly to turn into support area for the daily. So when I seen that price was coming to this daily area, I seen it was actually coming into a 4 hour demand area as well. So like if you look closely, your 4 hour higher low was here, your 4 hour higher high is right here, right? So price had already broken a 4 hour support here, came down, went up, then create another lower price action, lower low, making my market flow bearish. However, price was coming to a daily area, which is technically it has more demand there since price was there for a longer period of time. So the area is stronger than like a 1 hour or 15-minute demand area. So what I did was I drew my 4 hour from here to here to this wick. However, I need to zoom in to pretty much finesse this area to get as close as possible. And then I had put it from here to here, but I was like, let me go one more step down. So I went to a 15-minute chart to help pretty much refine my zones. So right there. So from this little the candle body close down to this wick of this candle, and then I just went over. I waited till price came down to like a 1 minute area. I started looking for reasons to buy at around like 6 o'clock ish. So I was already on my 1 minute chart. I was on my 1 minute, 3 minute, and I believe my 5 minute chart, because I was trying to see if the price was transitioning on at least those before I start to enter. So believe it or not, I drew this, well, from here to here to from here to there. I drew this before any of these candlesticks were formed. So yeah, what I did was I waited for a quasi kind of sorta. So price came down beneath this support here, went up, came down, and I was looking for a bullish engulfing pattern, in which I've got one right here. And then price came up, then it went back down, and it retested this little right shoulder kind of, and then it gave me another bullish engulfing pattern. So that would have been another entry. Price came down and gave me another bullish engulfing pattern, so that would have been another entry. So that's pretty much how people be getting like multiple entries on one like pair pretty much. So anywho, The same thing applied to this pair that I did on the GJ pair. I was looking for 25 pips, in which I got from my entry here. So I got about 25 pips and like it is 6:42, so no more than an hour. I was pretty much already taking profit and looking to just let the rest ride. I think I'm 25% again. I took out what 75%, left 25% on, and then yeah, I did like a trailing stop of 100 points or 10 pips, and yeah, so I was stopped out, but I was stopped out in profit, and I already took profit. So yeah, I was good for the day. So I mean, if I really wanted to count it up, I'd be at probably like either 100 pips for the day on 2 pairs. Yeah, so that was my brief analysis on those 2 pairs. I'll be doing more videos too, so just look out for them. All right, y'all.